New Zealand's oldest stone church, St Mary's in New Plymouth, is considered one good shake away from becoming a pile of rubble. A $15 million fundraising campaign launched today hopes to not only earthquake strengthen the 170-year-old building, but to future-proof it for centuries to come. Our Taranaki reporter Robin Martin has more.
Early European settlers built the Taranaki Cathedral Church of St Mary from local volcanic rock in 1846 as a thanksgiving for a safe passage to the new colony. It played an important role in the Taranaki Wars of the 1860s when it found itself the centre of a fortified settlement with civilians sheltering inside and European forces camped in its grounds. But it's been closed since February last year after it was found to be a severe earthquake risk. The Archbishop Philip Richardson is the head of the Anglican Church in New Zealand and the Bishop of Taranaki. He says the situation was dire.
There was no connection between the walls of this church and the roof, none whatsoever. It's just the roof is sitting on there. There's no lateral connection across the church, so there's nothing holding the outside walls together. And there's no angle bracing in the roof, so there's no strength in the roof. It sits there.
Archbishop Richardson says despite this, he's confident the church, which only meets 14% of the new building code, can be restored and enhanced.
We have really good engineering reports, we have a plan going forward, and we're having those peer reviewed by someone who has enormous experience of dealing with this kind of building in Italy actually, where they've had to refurbish and repurpose buildings of this nature many times.
The Dean of the Taranaki Cathedral, Peter Beck, is overseeing the restoration of the Gothic-style church. Dean Beck says the placing of a project office on the site today is a sign of things to come.
The symbolism of all this is just huge for today. I'm really quite emotional about it. Because this building opened in 1846 and it carries the story of Taranaki, you know, the good, the bad and the ugly. And today is marking the next step and the future for us.
Dean Beck says when complete, the cathedral project, a Taranaki Taonga, will include a new atrium and visitors centre and aim to be more inclusive.
That future is much more about working together and walking together with our Māori partners from the treaty and so many other people. This place will become more and more a place of welcome for people of all faiths and none. That's what a cathedral is all about.
Reeves Canon Wharihoka Wano represented Taranaki Māori at the project launch. Mr Wano acknowledged the Anglican Church's willingness to embrace the darker side of St Mary's history.
There's been a real endeavour and intention to understand then the past, to acknowledge it, not hide it, not sweep it away as we've tended to do with a lot of Aotearoa history, and then sort of push us into a future that's about encouraging us as a community to move forward.
Anne Smith has been a parishioner at St Mary's for 50 years. She's just happy to see a return to the building on the horizon.
I mean, the church is the people in essence, so I haven't felt that the church was going to disappear. But the building itself, yeah, it was an upsetting time for a while. But now I feel quite positive about it.
More than $750,000 has already been raised for the project, and it's hoped work will begin midway through next year and the cathedral will reopen in the second half of 2019. In New Plymouth for Checkpoint, ko Robin Martin Tēnei.